One editing step that often goes overlooked is adding titles, transitions, and effects. Remember, the most efficient way to edit your video into a final movie is like this. After you preview your raw video clips, create in points and out points to assemble a rough cut. Then tighten up and polish your edits. Then it's time to get fancy with the spices.
You're the one who was getting fancy with the spices!
Adding transitions, titles, and effects. Then you export. Transitions are a great way to show the passage of time. The most common transition is to not have a transition. It's called a jump cut. It's great because even though clips were shot at different times from different angles, when you mash them up with a jump cut in between, this creates continuity, like they happened one after the other. This can also lead to some interesting juxtaposition. Crossfades or cross dissolves can make it seem like a little time has passed, but it's still within the same moment. A fade to black or a dip to black, especially a long dip to black, can make it seem like an enormous amount of time has passed. What year is it? Be thoughtful of what transitions you use. The wrong transition or poor placement can really kill the moment. To insert a transition, go to the Effects panel. If you don't see the Effects panel, go to the drop-down menus and click Window, Effects. The Effects panel is searchable, so if you have a specific one in mind, you can type it in. There are tons of transitions, and honestly, most of them are total garbage, and you'll never use them. To insert a transition, drag it from the Effects panel to the edge between two clips. As long as there's enough leader, you can stretch the transition longer. The default transition is the cross dissolve. You can insert that one just by right-clicking the edge between two clips and selecting Default Transition. Titles are a great way to get information to the viewer, whether it's a title card, exposition in lower thirds, or scrolling credits. Don't overdo it though. Just because you can write it doesn't mean it would be better than the audience learning that same information by visual context clues. I would rather not be spoon-fed information via expository text if I can help it. To insert your tastefully placed text box, place your playhead in the timeline where you want the text to start. Click the Type tool in the toolbar, or the letter T on the keyboard. Insert a text box by dragging out the box, like from top left to bottom right. You can adjust the size and position of the box later with the Selection tool. Type your text. Even if it's the wrong size, font, position, color, whatever, type it anyway. After you type up the text, you can fix how it looks. Go to either the Effect Controls panel or the Properties panel. If you don't see the panel you want, go to the drop-down menus and select Window, Effect Controls. Click on the clip in the timeline, and then look for the layer of text in the Effect Controls. To select all the text in a box, hit Command-A on a Mac or Control-A on a Windows PC. It even selects the invisible text that went past the box. The Effect Controls panel has options and sliders to change the font, the alignment, the centering, the leading, the tracking, adding a drop shadow or a stroke, and much, much more. Effects are the real magic. Effects are available from the same effects panel you got the transitions from. There are tons of video effects, like Ultra Key for chroma keying a green screen, Gaussian Blur for blurring out certain things in your image. There are also audio effects, like adding reverb or an equalizer. Drag the effect to the audio or video in the timeline, then adjust the properties in the Effect Controls. Now you know how to add titles, transitions, and effects. Use them sparingly for the right reason, and they will take your video to the next level. Catch you on the next one.